Hi, I'm Deanna, and this is Cooking Seasonally in Maine. So it's been kind of yucky weather. I haven't made it to the grocery store, so I kind of had to scrounge around for what I was going to make today. So I still had a bunch of sweet potatoes in my farm share, had an onion left in my farm share, so I found a can of black beans, so we're going to make a black bean soup. I looked online and found a couple of recipes, and I didn't like any of them. So what I'm doing is taking parts of each of the recipes that I like and putting them together. So hopefully it comes out nice. Here's what you're going to need if you're going to experiment along with me. I have my can of black beans. I have some diced onion, like I said, left in my farm share box. Oh, my garlic came from the farm share too. This is a couple cloves of garlic that I've minced up. And I have about 2 cups of sweet potatoes. And for spice, I'm going to use cumin, paprika, and a little bit of salt. And then I use Better Than Bouillon. This is a hot take. If you haven't used this, it's the best. It keeps in the fridge. It's a little paste. I don't know if you can see that. And it's like 1 teaspoon for every 8 ounces of water. So I found when I used to buy what do I want to say? When I used to buy the containers of broth, it was always too much or not enough. So this is super flexible. So I'm going to meet you back at the stove. Okay, so here we are at the stove. I'm just going to tip you so you can see my Dutch oven here. So I'm just frying these onions up a little bit. So they're getting soft. And then I'm going to add in my 2 cups of sweet potatoes. And then my garlic, just until this all starts to soften up a little and meld together. I have a generous amount of garlic here. You could cut back on that. I really love garlic, so I tend to be super generous with it when I'm cooking. So this smells so good already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this cook a little bit. I'm going to continue to stir it. And then once I can smell that garlic getting fragrant, I'm going to add my chicken broth. And then I'm just going to cook it until the sweet potatoes get fork tender. And we'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. And I have my sweet potatoes were simmering away here with the onion and garlic and the chicken broth, and they're nice and tender. I scooped a few out because I'm going to puree the soup a little bit, but I want some texture left. So I chose to just take a few scoopfuls out. That would be a preference. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add maybe half of this can of beans. I'm just totally guessing on that. Yeah, maybe it's a little more than half. And my spices that we talked about earlier. Give it a good stir. And then I'm going to use my immersion blender. Beth, if you're watching, we talked about how convenient this makes it. I just got mine for Christmas from my wonderful son Tanner. Thank you very much. So here it is. And I'm just going to, I'm going to turn the heat down while I do this. I'm just going to whir this up a little bit. Right, so you don't need to watch me do this whole thing. So I'm going to finish with this. And then what I'm going to do is add in the rest of my beans that haven't been pureed and my little chunks of sweet potato, onion, and garlic there. And I'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm back with the finished product. Just gonna tip you so you can see. So I am super happy with how this came out. It's delicious. I did try it. And I am really glad that I chose to puree some of it and leave some of the texture. I'm really digging how this came out. When I took a bite, it was really neat to get that little burst of sweet potato. Delicious. And yeah, so this was my kind of experiment, mash recipes together. This is the beauty of having a CSA box, is it kind of has forced me to just say, okay, this is what I have at home, because I'm making less trips to the grocery store because of quarantine and, you know, everything. So it's been really fun experimenting with some of the ingredients and forcing me outside my comfort zone, and delicious. We'll see you next time.